For this home lab project, I probably have a dozen or so gRPC services to write. I want to take a little time out to create a GitHub template for these services. GitHub templates are a good way to store repetitive project structure setup and some of the boilerplate code associated. So I'm going to start out in GitHub making a repo just like I normally would. Once it's created, I go into the repo settings and check the template box. From here on out, that template will show up in the templates drop down when I'm creating a new repo. For the project layout, there's not really a strictly enforced layout for a Go project. I do, however, like to be consistent with my project layout, so I tend to follow the Golang standards project layout. I'll implement that here so I have the directories I need pre-built. Note that when you are building a template and you want to include project structure, you need to at least add a markdown file to each directory you'll want to have in the template. Empty directories won't show up when you push the project back up. My first gRPC service was deployed in 2018 and was largely based on the structure of the gRPC Quick Start tutorial. I deployed roughly 30 gRPC services since then, and I've continued to refine the server boilerplate. This project will continue to refine that, but what I have here is the distillation of my common approach. Main.go just basically wires in TLS, gets the server running with stubs ready for wiring in the protocol buffer code once we've generated that. Speaking of TLS, we have three options here. The first is no TLS, where there's no encrypted traffic between the client and server. The second is server TLS, where the traffic is encrypted, but only the server is ID'd. Thirdly, both the client and server implement TLS, and the server and client know who each other are. Option 3 is what I've stubbed out here. There's a make file that has scripts that perform some of the normal tasks associated with gRPC development, which I'm sure I'll refine over time. Finally, we have a shell of the app.proto, which is the proto file that we'll use to generate the protocol buffer code. So that's how we're starting this template. In the next video, we'll attempt to use it in a service. I feel like after 3 or 4 services, we may have it tuned in pretty well. Once it stabilizes, I may fork it or copy the template into a public repo if you guys are interested. See you in the next one where I'll try to use this thing.